Hi everyone, I'm Reggie Whitley. Thanks so much for joining me on the Open Vault podcast. Hopefully, you'll hear something that'll inspire you, empower you, enlighten you, or just make your day a little better. Since you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and or follow, depending on the platform that you're tuning in on. And feel free to share this podcast onto your social media pages and with your friends and loved ones.
First of all, hi, welcome to Open Vault with Reggie Whitley, and I'm not here alone, as you can clearly see for the first time, because we're first timers, right? For the first time, I have not one, not two, but three people with me. We have at the top Mr. Ivory J. Simmons, then we have Valerie Dean, and we have Crystal Bradley. So I'm really excited that you all are here joining me. Thank you again for joining me here today.
Oh, no, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So one of the things that I want to talk about, I was kind of battling a little bit about what to talk about. Is there a theme that we should have? Is there a flow that we should have? And so one of the things that I thought about the other night, I was laying in a bed and just out of nowhere, I thought, wow, we've been in this pandemic and COVID-19 world for a really long time. I always say that I didn't know about it. If you're a loved one of mine and you're watching or you're on here, shame on you, because nobody even told me that we were in a pandemic. I literally was living my regular life. I didn't know that there was a thing called COVID-19 until the National Guards were coming in like the end of March, I think. End of April. Toward like Aprilish, like the end of April. And so somebody was telling me, we're in a pandemic. And I was like, oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. And then they had to explain, because as I always say on here, my number one news source is the Shade Room on Instagram. By the way, there's a Shade Room Church. Did y'all know that?
Really?
The Shade Room Church. And I
On
was
Instagram?
On Instagram.
I might need to follow them. I follow the regular Shade Room, but
that's the primary source. I think 80% of my news is the Shade Room. And
Who runs the one on the church?
Huh?
Who runs it? The one for the church?
I think the regular Shade Room does. It seems the same, but it's not. They don't tell they tell good stuff. It's not shady stuff about the church.
Yeah.
But yeah, while everybody was buying up all the toilet paper and tissue,
water,
and masks, water, I'm out here just living my life. And, why is it so empty in the store? So I didn't know. Thank God I didn't get it. Well, I think I had it. But, because I was confused. And then I started seeing people talking about there's no tissue in the stores. And I was like, oh, geez, why is there no tissue in the stores? Still nobody said it's because of COVID-19. So thank you, Shade Room, for telling me about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and not about the virus. So, but yeah, some people, some of y'all, I've talked to you all, and you've been in it longer than me. So this is definitely the new normal. I hated that term until 2 nights ago. I hated to hear people say it, but really and truly, this is kind of the new normal. It's been so long. Some people haven't gone to church all year. I think we ain't gonna turn it. But so what is that like for y'all? Is there major changes? Because my life is pretty quarantined on a regular day. I don't really fool with people like that. I'm to myself. I talk to people on the phone. We're still doing that now. I FaceTime people. We're still doing that now. I don't go to stores. I don't care. The only difference with me is restaurants. I can't go to those, but I don't care. So are y'all's lives majorly different, or how is that going?
Well, before we went into quarantine and everything, I was on basically medical leave after I had Camille. So I was already basically in quarantine. And during my healing process, that's when everything started happening. We heard about the stuff that was happening in China, and then Trump finally told us here in America. So I was already kind of in quarantine, but yeah, it's weird now. My baby probably didn't go to a store before she was 3 months maybe, because I was so scared. Lysol, everything. I wear gloves to pump my gas. So yeah, it's been a transition, a change for real.
Crystal and Justin?
Okay.
Whoever want to go first.
Well, well, honey, it's been rough for me because I am. Okay, let me get this camera here. I am always on the go, always. And when I heard about it and how serious it was and how everything pretty much changed within my job, I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm used to going to see family because I'm a family person. I go see family. I try to do something like every weekend because I do work a lot during the week. And I'm like, so what's next?
Right.
So
And I
it
think that
has
is the thing for me
truly
too.
been, a change for me because I'm a get up and go person. I don't this is very new for me.
And I think that's my thing. I didn't think about it until I was talking to Crystal earlier. The fact that I do go out of town a lot. Every year I'm in Chicago. Every year, sometimes most of the times here I'm in Texas. And I think I hadn't been trying to think about it because I've never just not gone anywhere. Like I can't go anywhere. And when I think about it, it drives like I'm like, oh, there has to be a way. Like let's put on some gloves and a mask and head on up to the Chi-Town or something. But then, what are you gonna do when you get there? And are you gonna
Right.
be paranoid? Because I'm a paranoid person. I woke up with sniffles this morning, and I was like, I just don't know. Lord, now
Is it me, Lord?
you know I ain't been doing it. I ain't got no business, Lord.
Get you some hot toddy and wrap up and relax on your couch.
That's what I need to do because I be any little thing, and I'm the one to tell God, I don't know about these other people out here, but I'm your good and faithful servant. I'm gonna need you to help me out. Don't I can't be laid up in this bed with no COVID-19. I'm your favorite, So.
But this COVID-19, anybody can get it.
Right.
People are walking around, they don't even know they got it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So.
Justin.
I think for me, like I was like you at first when it first came. I'm sorry, y'all. When it first came out, I was like, like Val said, heard about it in China, but did not really hear about it in the U.S. at first. But I worked in my job. We actually had to have a sit down and say, okay, cool, guys, this thing is getting real, so we need to come up with a plan, a work from home plan. And so once we came up with our work from home plan, I'm pretty much like the rest of you guys. I'm always doing something, always traveling. And so, of course, me being the person that I am, I jumped on when she announced that we are going to be working from home. I jumped on the flight the next day, and I spent my quarantine time in Nashville with some friends, and so I was there for about a month or two, just quarantining. And originally, at first, was not wearing a mask, was not wearing gloves, was not wearing any of it until I realized, man, this thing is real. And so I started, seeing people actually dying from it, seeing people actually, losing their lives over it. And so that's now pretty much, I would say I'm definitely wearing gloves. Now, I'm not a homebound person. I don't like to be at home. I love my home, but I don't pretty much like to be at home. So I still, pretty much go out to eat, go to dinner and stuff like that. But I try to use all the precautions that I can. Like I always wear a mask now. I'm like Val. And when I'm pumping my gas, I always put the gloves on. Lysol wipes and Lysol have become my best friend. I will fight you over Lysol wipes now. And so I try to get them. And so now I think definitely now what I've come to, I'm like, you know what, Justin, since you do go out a lot, I try to make people, but I do wear masks. I try to make the people that I go around, like my family, my grandparents, my work environment. I try to tell them, hey guys, I've been, here this weekend. I want to make sure you guys are okay with it. I did wear a mask. Not only looking out for myself, but looking out for those that are around me as well, so that I won't spread, anything. Because I know a lot of people in my job, they have children, and I know it would devastate them and me too to know that if I've encountered something, I've given them something. Now they taking it home to their family. And so I think now we all should definitely come to a place where we're not only, looking out for ourselves, but also looking out for other people by wearing masks, hand sanitizer, and things like that. So we're definitely taking the extra step to being safe, not only keeping myself safe, but keeping everyone else safe that are around me. That's definitely different from me. Like going in the gas station. I may just be going in there to pay for gas. I have to turn around, get my mask, because it can just be that one moment that I can come into contact with somebody with COVID in there, and now I got it because I don't want to put my mask on for 5 seconds. So definitely, it's just there for me.
And I think that that's something that people don't really look at, and I know it's been talked about a little more, but people aren't really some people aren't taking it seriously. Not only do you have to look out for yourself, but you have to look out for all the other people. Like, because it's so easy to get. I mean, I was thinking about like I said earlier, my thing is going to restaurants. Like, I like to go to restaurants with friends or family and stuff like that. And I haven't been able to go to a restaurant since I don't know. Probably I found out in April is when I stopped going. Because your boy was still going because he didn't know. I thought they was just empty. I didn't know. So I was still going and everything, and now we're to the point where people are starting to go back and they're, doing the social distancing in restaurants and stuff. But I'm a little paranoid still, because my thing is, like, I can be just sitting here, minding my own business, somebody 6 feet away, and then just walk back to go to the restroom and, I don't know, cough or sneeze or whatever. And I can just get it that easily because they coughed as they walk by. And so I think about stuff like that too, but I try not to let it, like, bother me or overwhelm my mind.
Like, I'm like that too, and even in stores. I mean, it's not being rude or whatever, but a lot of times I have to tell people, can you back up a little bit, because a lot of people are not taking it serious as we may be, or as other people are. And so you're in store, somebody may be all on you, somebody may be all behind you. I have to look like I don't mean to be rude, but they are saying stay 6 feet apart now, and you just have, because you don't know. I think the governor said this. You have to approach every person like every person has it, because you just don't know. And so I don't care if you're my family. Like, if I haven't been around you, if I don't know where you've been, I don't want to bring nothing home to my home. I don't want to bring up nothing to my grandparents' home, my mom's home. So it's like, I'm gonna need you to get, stay 6 feet. And some people will actually get offended, but I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't mean any offense or no pun intended. I can't afford to have COVID in this, like, and I don't want to take nothing home to my family. So.
And that happened to me when I first found out about it. I'm not a store-going person anyway. I normally just, like Walmart, I was telling them early, one other podcast, Walmart does the thing where they can, like, bring it out to your car. And they've been doing it, and they've been doing it since before this started. And I started doing it when they started doing it, before this happened. Because I just don't like going in stores. I don't really like being around people like that.
I had to deliver to my house, so I've been going to the extreme.
I need to go to that. I need to do that. But I remember when I actually had to go to Walmart because somebody was like, can you find me some toilet paper? I was in there. So it was like, can you find me toilet paper everywhere in Olive Branch's app? And so I was like, oh, sure. Shouldn't be a big deal. And so I went, and the first Walmart I went to did have some, but it was so limited. But when I was standing in the line, homegirl was like all up on my shoulder. And I told the story a few weeks ago on here. She was like all up on my shoulder, and I like, I wanted to say something, but I was in the ghetto in Memphis, and she had a bonnet on her head, and so I was scared because I was like, she's gonna fight me if I say something.
Got it.
Yeah, I would have got it. And she went by herself, and her posse had bonnets on their heads as well.
Yeah,
and so I just feel like you out here fighting if you in Walmart with a bonnet on your head.
Oh, they just had to make a store run. That's all.
Just a store run, but she was ready though. I bet she was ready. So I didn't say nothing to her. I told the Lord, tell her, like, Lord, let her know that she's a little bit too close. I don't know much about like, I'm in warfare in line. I don't know much about what's going on right now. I know it's supposed to be 6 feet. Can you tell homegirl to, like, bag up a little bit? Because I ain't fit to tell her. But
what I had to, oh my God.
Go ahead.
What I had to do at the start of this, like when I would still have to go to Walmart, I would really like get in front of my basket. Like if I'm in line, I would get in front of my basket and purposely push my basket back. And like people would like walk into my basket like, y'all are too close, apparently. And then I had to tell this older lady, I was like, are you in line? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, you have to stand over there. Like I tried to be so nice. I just people, I don't know. And people, I don't really feel like now how long this has been going on, I feel like everybody should be knowledgeable, like what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. But like some people aren't even taking it serious. So
right.
I don't know.
Even older people that's not taking it seriously, and I don't get it. Like this, like you said, this has been going on longer enough.
I understand.
Oh well, yeah, you're right. Because Crystal works with older people, so she has a perspective. I just don't know. I'm just out here. I'll say what I'm.
They're probably like COVID. What are you talking about?
Listen, it's been a struggle trying to explain to them why why they have to wear their masks, why their family not allowed in the building. So it's
Oh,
just been so challenging. I find myself explaining literally every day why. Well, when my daughter come to see me, and I have to explain what COVID is over and over, and they still don't understand. So it's been really challenging in the the nursing homes with the elderly because they don't understand how at risk they are, and they don't understand that they're not exempt from it.
Right.
So they're still trying to get back into their regular routine, and it was hard trying to break them from their regular. They know on Wednesdays they play bingo, so now I got to break it down to them. You can't play bingo this day. So it's just been a challenge every day trying to explain to them why they can't do the normal things that they used to do. So in this process, it's been a lot going on, but I just thank the Lord that I'm trying to keep myself covered because I have to go to work with them too.
Right.
So you have to literally protect yourself and protect yourself for other people as well.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know.
So just curious, are they? Well, first I saw this interview with Oprah and Bishop Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes. And Bishop Jakes was talking about how, and I thought about this when you said they don't know that they're at risk. Bishop Jakes was talking about how he was just praying and praying and praying, God protect those who are elderly and all that. And he was just praying for the elderly. And he was like, it just dawned on me. You're praying for yourself. Like, you're one of those. And Oprah was like, me too. I didn't realize I was one of those elderly who are at risk, just like everybody else. And and it was funny, but then I was like, oh, so like a lot of older people might not realize, oh, I'm in that bracket of being at high risk. But I would like to know, just out of curiosity, are they able to like video chat with their family?
Yeah, so I as soon as we got the news and we had to break the news to them, I immediately asked my executive director, can I purchase an iPad so that they can FaceTime their families. Um, and I said, I don't care how much it costs, but we need something so that we can FaceTime their families, so their families can be at ease. Because I'm telling you, some families don't understand how serious it is too. Only thing they know, they want to see their mama. Okay.
And I think that would be me too. That would definitely be me if my mom was in a nursing home or something. All I would want to know, because me, I'm used to seeing my parents like I moved away now, but every other weekend, every weekend or so. And I'm a really family oriented person. I'm a grandmother's day, I'm a mama's day, and I'm like, I need to see them. And so I'm like, I don't have COVID. Why can't I come in? So I think that would definitely be me.
Right, right. And it was hard, not only hard breaking it down to the residents, but breaking it down to their families. And they like, no, I don't have it. I was like, I understand that. But, my job, we have to take care of the safety of the residents. So it was a challenge trying to explain it to the families. Because something they know they want to see their mama. And they want to see their mama every day.
Right.
well, we can
And so
schedule you in a FaceTime.
yeah, so that's we had to do, schedule a FaceTime. And you'll be surprised. Some of them want to FaceTime their mama more than 3 times a day.
And I think a lot of it is like we're not used to being rejected of stuff. By we, I mean
Right.
like mainly in America, it's such a free country, land of the free, and these are my rights. We're not used to being told no. Because I remember I went to the doctor's office one time a few months ago, and my temperature was, I don't remember what it was, but it was like 102 or something. And they were about to not let me in, and I was offended. I was just a tad bit out because the woman, like, she was like freaking out because I mean, of course, they run outside when you pull up. Hold on, let me take your temperature. And okay, fine, I expected this. Your temperature's, I don't know if it's, I think it was 102 or 103. And she was like, oh wait, let me go in and see. And I was like, isn't it supposed to be like 99 or something? I mean, it's just 102, 99, 100, 101, 102.
Even though they're still,
Right.
they have to be cautious
Yeah,
about
and I had to realize that, like, they have to take every precaution because it's not just me, although I was the only one in there, but it's not just me. They have to think about themselves, and then the people are coming behind me and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that it just takes some, like, I understood it kind of quickly, And they did let me in. The doctor told them to just let me in, have me to sit. I think I had a sweater on. I don't know why I had a sweater on, but I think I had a sweater.
This was recently?
This was recently. Well, this was like around April, like the end of April, beginning of May. Yeah, I don't know. I was cold, okay?
Maybe you could have got away with the sweater. Maybe. I don't know.
That's why they let me in, because it was like, just let him in. Apparently, she said this nut got a sweater on. So, and it was like 90 degrees outside. So, she was like, let him in, tell him take his sweater off, let him cool down for a few minutes, take it again. And it was below that. I think it was like 97 or something. But just for me to have that experience, I was like, so you mean to tell me I drove all the way here? You're not going to let me in to see the doctor? And I think for some people, like I experienced for like 2 minutes what people have experienced for months. Because some people just can't get over the fact that you just can't do certain stuff. Yeah. And they just can't be okay with it. Are you that person, Val?
No, I'm not that person, but...
you're an amen.
Yeah. Because now, as I'm going to like doctor appointments with my baby and everything, only one parent can go.
Right.
So like when she's getting shots and everything, it's either me or her dad have to be back there with her. So that sucks. And then they check her temperature, they check our temperature, they make us sign in, I guess, just in case we come in contact with somebody or they have an outbreak, they're able to contact everybody. Yeah. Like, it's just a lot that they're making us do and not letting us do. So I'll be happy when this is over.
Right. I think I've been more, all of my doctor's appointments have been transitioned or switched over to virtual appointments. And so I've gotten really used to that. Just like we're doing now, this is how I talk to my doctors and the nurses or however. And we're just on the phone now. One thing, the eye appointment. I haven't had an eye appointment. Y'all know how hard it is to get an eye appointment. You go every year, and then sometimes they be like, well, we can't see you until 3 months. And so I had an eye appointment. I was like, I'm not missing this one. I'm coming to get it. Got there, and I had an eye infection. So they was like, of course, they were like, thinking that was another symptom. And I was like, no. And so
they keep adding symptoms.
Yeah, so I had to come back the next day. My eye was really red, but it turned out that my eye was just torn in the inside of it from some contact, and had to come back the next day. And so they were coming outside checking my temperature. Now, I didn't understand the whole thing of why you coming outside to check my temperature. But when we actually, in my job, we actually fingerprint doctors and nurses and stuff like that. And so doctors coming out of office, and they're like, well, we deal with COVID patients all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to check your temperature before you come in here. And another thing for me, I did not understand why the food place, Walmart, closed at 8 o'clock. I was like, I just don't get it. I'm that person. I'm just like, I don't get like what closing early. How is them closed? How will them closing early stop somebody from getting COVID-19? I'm just like, okay, well, wouldn't they just catch it during the time that they're open? Right. Like that was me, and they were like, well, I don't know. And I was just like, at one point, I was like, nothing to eat. I'm hungry. Walmart is closed. I just have to go to bed starving because nothing is open. And so that was my biggest downfall. That was my biggest thing. And then I had this fever at one time. Well, this water park thing, I wanted to go to the water park. And they were open. But I was like, you know what? I need to just be really cautious of going anywhere like this, amusement park and stuff like that. And so, yeah. But
that happened to me with the food places. Like, I had a whole attitude one night. Being in henceforth Greenville, Mississippi. We ain't got that many options to begin with.
No.
Everything is closing at 8 o'clock. I think the only place that was open beyond 8 was McDonald's.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I hope this don't give me a lawsuit. God cover me, because I'm gonna say it. In my mind, there are just some places you go, you're gonna get the corona. So like, I don't go to like Double Quick. No, they don't look like, no shade, Double Quick. I'm just not gonna make it. McDonald's. You want me to go to McDonald's during this pandemic?
But the McDonald's, they had a bunch of in-house, and I think it's out on the news now, so I'm going to have to be careful. They had a bunch of in-house cases, but they were covering it up, and a lot of younger people who were working there actually got it. And it was just, they were covering up because they wanted to, I guess, continue working. But the government, at first, they passed this bill. Congress first tried to pass this bill where you can't sue your employees for not telling you that they had an outbreak or whatever. But now they've gotten it where you actually can. If they have an outbreak and they don't tell you, you can actually sue them now. I can't remember the name of the bill, but they tried to pass it at first where you couldn't sue, but now you can, because I definitely would have sued if you knew you had an outbreak, you didn't tell me, and I got it. Yeah.
Because to me, that's like, and I might be dramatic, but I'm always dramatic. I think that's like attempted murder or something in my mind. Because if you know you have something that can cause death and you don't care about giving it to somebody else, you don't care if I die or not. So I feel like you should be tried as an attempted murder. I know that's dramatic, but I mean, it just, to me, it doesn't make sense. If you know you have the virus, and if I get this virus and I can die from it, if you know you have it and you come around me and you don't warn me, you know, it's my choice whether or not I'm still around you. But if you don't tell me and still come around me, I feel like, you know, you should be tried as a criminal.
You'll be surprised at how many people that are literally trying to hide that they, you know, had or have it.
Yeah.
Like, no need to hide it because it's airborne.
Yeah, I don't think
You know, this is not, you know, this nothing, you know, like a transmitted disease. This is corona is airborne. So no need to try to hide it, you know. Just protect yourself and protect others. Or, you know, educate people.
Right.
And if they're
surprised how many people are trying to hide or stay low key. I mean, I understand being secret to, you know, close kept, but come on now. Come on.
and going back to the McDonald's in Greenville, if they aren't wanting to tell that they have the coronavirus just so they can keep working, that's the point. In my mind, that's the point of all the assistance that the government is giving out. Okay, so you have to be off work for 2 weeks. Go ahead and go apply for what? Unemployment or something like that. Or your job should have something in place where, okay, you'll have so many days off where, you know, we'll get you some type of pay, but still going to work or still being around people when you know for a fact that you're positive, like, that's just so selfish.
And I have heard of some companies that when they find out, like if you tell them, hey, I have the virus, or I've been tested positive, or I've been around somebody who's been tested positive, they do have some companies, I don't know if McDonald's does or not, have programs set up to where it's like you can be off of work for 2 weeks and we'll still pay you like you're here.
Yeah,
you still get the benefits and stuff. But some people, like, they're stingy. They don't want to. Because, I mean, to me, it blows my mind that you have people who, like, I have someone that I know who is, I was told that they work for a bus company. They for the school district, not here, but somewhere. And they drive school buses. They've been doing it for years. And so because the people didn't want to, the company or the school didn't want to pay them just to, you know, not drive the buses, they're like, well, you're going to get up every morning and every evening and you're going to drive your bus, your regular route, and then you're going to drop your bus back off and you're going to go back home, and that's how you're going to get paid. Now, to me, that's stupid, because I thank you for keeping them employed, but I mean, you can pay them for just being at home, really, because you're wasting gas, so now you're wasting more money, and why, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, with my job, I actually, I had a fever one day, and just because I had a fever, I didn't feel well. Could have been like a slight cold or something. I don't believe it. I don't think it was COVID, and it could have been COVID. But my job, I told my boss, you know, you still have to tell your boss these things. And by me working in a really close knit office or whatever, I told her, I said, hey, I don't feel well today, and she put me on a quarantine period. I couldn't come back to the office for 14 days. Of course, I still worked from home and, you know, got paid for it, but I just could not come into the office, and so I was okay with it. I mean, I think I was pretty okay with it.
And I think that that's good when you have those that do that. It just doesn't make sense. I guess it's greed that keeps certain companies from doing it. Just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm still trying to get over, y'all, the schools that are letting back in. Y'all seen the reports of all of the children who are now quarantined because they went back to school for a day or for 3 days, and now schools are just back shut down. The teachers are quarantined, the students are quarantined. It just doesn't make sense to me. I know
they're going to be doing this all year.
Right. Because they're so adamant about let's just be normal. Let's just let everybody come back and act like things are normal. It just doesn't make sense to me. Kudos to the school districts who are letting their students stay at home and providing, you know, computers, internet, whatever, because that just, to me, is the thing that makes sense. It just doesn't make sense to me to have everybody come back to school.
It
I
didn't.
saw, I saw this thing online. They're doing it in certain places where I believe it's called I'm thinking of the word bubble because I've heard that for the NBA, but it's basically like a group of kids. They basically get together in one location together, and they basically go to class every day together. It's probably maybe like just say like 6 kids. They're just together with a teacher or with the computer and stuff, and it's just like they just go to school and they're basically homeschooled. I feel like that's a good idea. I mean, people they can probably like I know it's not easy to like homeschool your kids, especially like if you have to work or if you're a single parent or something. But between me and my cousins and my friends and stuff, all of us got kids around the same age. I mean, somebody can stay at home with the kids and pull up some type of material to get them together. But for everybody that is having to go to actual school, especially the teachers, like all we can do is really pray for them because they have to make a living. And I mean, we have to educate the kids, but at the same time, this is just a hard situation, and I don't think nobody really knows the best answer to get through this. I don't know.
That's true. Because while I know a lot of people are saying, this has never happened before, it has, but not in our lifetime and not to this degree, especially in our lifetime. And things are so different now. Like the last time this happened, I'm not even going to sit here and act like I'm a historian. Got to see in history, but it's been a long time, and there's so many advancements and stuff. So you would think it would be somewhat easier because we have more advancements. We have, like smartphones, computers, internet, all kind of technology and stuff. But it is still somewhat more difficult. And so I just think I don't know. I hate that we're so divided on it. I think that it's just a really divisive time. One of the things, go ahead.
Well, I think they should have school next year. I think they should use this time training the teachers to teach virtually. I even think they should have a training for the parents. Just work on training and educating them because if a teacher not up to the par, how can they teach somebody virtually that they're not there?
Exactly.
So I think they should just focus on training at this point, and then just try teaching next year. Just train the parents, train the teachers, train those extra persons so that can maybe help out, and then you try teaching next year. Just start fresh next year.
I agree.
But I'm gonna believe that this is gonna be over soon. So.
Yeah, for next year. Because I'm tired. I think like I would just say for me, I think I would say spiritually it has done a lot for me.
Yeah.
Spiritually it has because
so it has been some good.
Yeah, it has been some really good in it, like spiritually. And just being able having the downtime to get some other stuff done, just around the house, just with yourself that you need to get done. Like I think we're forced to actually spend some alone time, and I don't know if everyone's gonna hear it, is a Christian, but I believe for me, I was forced to have that alone time for me with God. That I feel like God had been demanding for a long time, but because I was so lost and so caught up in the responsibilities of day to day or whatever, that I wasn't able to spend that time with him, or just read, just pray and stuff like that. And so I do believe that I was forced to actually, I'm bored. I couldn't go outside. I was forced to actually forced in to read, forced in to spend that one-on-one alone time with God or whatever, and to really put my focus back on Him. A lot of people were, nothing against going to church. I love going to church. I am a church goer, but a lot of people they really, were more into going to a physical location of church versus, having their relationship or their one-on-one connection with God. And so I definitely believe that in this time, God taught me how to have a one-on-one relationship with Him, and not to have your relationship per se in church going or in the formality of church, but to have a genuine connection and one-on-one relationship with Him. And so I thank Him for that, that I was able to, have that time with Him and to be able to, develop that. And so that was my good end and my takeaway from it in that. And then I'm a person, I believe in mental breaks. To be honest, we needed a mental break. A lot of people, we needed a mental break. We did. We needed it, That's just the good in it for me. I believe that we all need a mental break. We needed like mental days, literally, to prepare our hearts, prepare our minds. And so I just thank him for just giving us that time. He knew what we needed even before. He may not think we needed, but he knew what we needed. And so I believe he allowed it, and he's gonna keep us. He's gonna protect us while we in it. And so that's just where I stand with it.
And I think that's a really good point.
I think this quarantine also made me realize how I took my family for granted.
Oh
How I
yeah,
took family and friends, and just little small things that we just took for granted. Like, okay, I can do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But this quarantine made me realize, like, honey, I'm real heavy on I love you. I love you, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know. And so this quarantine, yeah, like he was saying earlier, some good came out of it. Build a relationship with God, and made me slow down because I was a busybody on the go everywhere. So it made me slow down and really focus, build a relationship with God, and just appreciate being by myself. Appreciate being able to be in my own home and just read, study, meditate on a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's true.
During this quarantine, I lost an uncle to the coronavirus, to COVID-19. Um, um, I've also lost another uncle. He stayed far away, and I also lost my mom in April, not to the coronavirus, but to cancer. So,
Your mom?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So sorry to hear that.
So I feel like this quarantine, I've had some good in it, but it's also been challenging not being able to be around my dad or my brothers or my aunts or just anybody else. Like, we can't have that physical touch, that shoulder to just cry on to get through this and get through the quarantine for one, and then like all the life changes that are happening too. So quarantine has been hard. It's been different, but it's also been a growing process for me too. So that's why I just try to stay positive through everything. So
And
the
I think
quarantine
that's
has
the
caused
thing.
some anxiety, okay?
Right.
Anxiety and being paranoid. I'm telling you. Folks, everybody cough, you looking.
We don't say bless you when people sneeze anymore. I have a genuine concern. Like, what? You sneezing? Okay, what is that? But I think that that's a good point. The thing is, I'm a mental person. I'm like a mindset person. What's going on mentally and all that stuff. And like Val said, we just have to keep a positive mindset. Like, because I don't, even when I found out about it, I didn't engulf myself in it. Like, some people just watch stuff about COVID-19 day in and day out. The news, they Google or YouTube videos or news broadcasts simply about COVID-19, and it's like, why you want to put all that in you? Why do you want to just take all of that in? And so that's a really good point. That we have to just stay positive, because if you don't and you really pay attention to the news will really drive you crazy.
It will.
I don't want to. Right. I don't like to talk about our commander-in-chief, but I have to look at him. He is, some of the things he does is a little foolish, but I think that the thing, well, I ain't gonna say everything. I wouldn't say most of the stuff, but
9%.
Yeah, yeah. But I kind of look at him as a comedian. So that's how I get through that. I have to look at him as a comedian, and I know he's hurting people, but I just have to just laugh at him. I mean, some of the stuff that he says is funny. I mean, if you really just look at it, like China virus, I can't even say the word China. I have to say China because that's just hilarious to me. And so, and it's shameful, of course. We don't need a comedian as a president, but I'm not here to talk about the president. But I just have to look at things differently. And of course, some stuff you can't help but to look at as, because I'm also a realist, I guess you can say. First things first, I'm the realist. I just look at stuff as it is. You know, I look at the reality of stuff, but also just look at the bright side. And I think a lot of people kind of, I don't know, they're like, oh, you're one of those people. Yeah, I kind of am. I try to find that bright side of everything. Because to me, COVID-19, although it sucks and it's horrible and we hate that it's here and all that stuff, but like y'all have said, it's giving us time to focus. It's giving us time to do other stuff. It's giving us time. I've binge watched a TV show. You know, I've
I
had
need one.
the time to. You what?
I need one.
Oh, I thought you said you're in one. I actually binged. What is it called? It's How I Met Your Mother. Because so many years ago, I saw the last episode, and I only saw the clip when Ted said, "And that is how I met your mother." And I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be a good show." And it took me years to start, but I actually started watching it, and I ran out of shows in a way because I watched everything. And so it was. I finished it yesterday, actually, and like that's how I've been. It's a very lighthearted show. It makes me laugh. TikTok app. Like I'm a TikTok addict. Pray for me, okay, when we get out there, because I am on TikTok like day and night, all throughout the day. Absolutely. You don't know how to use it? Well, I don't like make videos, but I just watch other people's videos, so I'm not like on there. But
They ain't funny to me. Some of them funny, but some of the stupid stuff that people do be funny. But like, I saw one guy. I don't know who might see your video, so I'm not gonna say that.
Well, yeah, that's how I get through. So, do you all have like routines or something? My routine is pretty much TikTok, honestly. I do a little stuff. I actually, I'm sure all of y'all know, in case you don't know who's watching this, I'm not doing a shameless plug, but I wrote a book. And in the back of that book, I actually said that I was going to release another book in November. I forgot that I said that. And I put it
you stamped the date on it?
I put a date. I put an actual date on it, like November something, 23rd or something, pre-order November. And I literally thought about it yesterday. I was like, oh, dear God, I'm supposed to write a book. Why haven't you read this book during quarantine? What better time to write a book? I started, but
I've done the same thing. The same. Mine's procrastination. And I just.
Ooh, so yours is closer.
Well, I have the authority to change that, I think.
Well, I don't feel like I can change, man, because I've like told people, and let this be a lesson. Don't put it in your book when the next book is going to be released. That's what I'm teaching myself.
Well, I've told people too, and people have actually pre-ordered it, and I'm like, I have it written, I just ain't got it typed out and stuff like that. So I'm like, y'all, can I just give y'all a refund? They was like, no, we really want the book, and I'm just like,
oh, well, you got to get to it then.
Yeah, you got to get to it. So that's your new routine. That is your new routine, to just write the book.
Well, I'm done. I just have to type it. I'm lazy when it comes to typing it. I hate that. I have to type it, and I publish my own stuff now, and so it literally takes me a day or two to just publish or whatever. But it is a lot of the other stuff is.
What if well, this book is too late, but what if for the next book you just like write it on your computer, like instead of.
That's what I normally do. That's what I normally do. But for some reason, I just wanted to be. I went and brought this nice little journal here.
Wanted to use it.
For some reason, y'all let me write my book again. Now when I'm done, I'm like, okay, we're just sitting up there now.
So that needs to be your new routine, is to write the book. So we're not going to ask you what your routine is now. We're just going to say, we're going to speak that into existence. Your new routine is not write the book, to type the book.
It's crazy the thing.
Yeah. Valerie, Crystal, what is y'all's routines, or have you like accomplished things, goals, or do you have goals that you're working to accomplish during COVID? And you don't have to go into detail, because I'm one who I don't tell people what I'm working on. So if you're like that, I understand. Because I don't think I told anybody I was doing a podcast. I just put it on here one day. I was like, hey, we got a podcast. So what do y'all got?
Oh, Christy, you can go.
Okay. So before the quarantine, I never had time to watch TV. I never really had time to watch TV at all. So it was pretty exciting. I'm like, oh, I got some time to watch TV. And I must have watched How to Get Away with Murder.
Come on with
it. Now I think I'm a whole lawyer out here, okay?
I can get away with murder. I can
ready,
do it.
Investigator and all. And I said, Lord. And I think like one weekend, I had a whole lot of stuff I was supposed to have done or whatever. And I spent it. I didn't even get no sleep. I stayed up watching TV. And I was like, this is why I don't watch TV, right?
So have you finished Grey's Anatomy?
Huh?
Have you finished Grey's Anatomy?
I finished it. All during this quarantine.
My
I
girl.
cried. And so most of I said, see, this is why I don't watch TV, because I don't know when to stop.
Right.
So I would stay up and don't go to sleep watching TV. But I am studying at the time. Like I said, I wouldn't tell nobody no date, but I am studying to take my social work exam.
You better.
Y'all keep me in your prayers. And I just this past week I signed up with a trainer, okay, because the quarantine weight was taking over.
It ain't no joke.
So I just signed up with a personal trainer, and I just went to my first session yesterday. And y'all, I tell you, the good Lord gonna have to help me through this journey. Cause I feel like my legs feel like somebody been beat on me.
You gotta work through the soreness. It's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Woo! That's the part. That's the hard part right there.
Mm-hmm.
Work through the sword. That's the hard part. So y'all just pray my strength through this process.
You got
just keep me in your prayer.
I think my daily routine is basically caring for Camille. I've done I think I did 2 summer classes. I was supposed to have a full load this summer, but I knocked that down because I needed time to get myself together. So I've taken summer classes. I was doing it, getting my schedule ready for the fall because I'm set to graduate in December with a degree in psychology, and then I have to prepare myself to get ready to take the GRE and everything. So basically, I'm just doing a lot of planning. I find myself walking, actually going outside. Got my little stroller, mom life.
Okay.
So, and basically, I find shows on Netflix, but I find myself finishing them in 3 to 4 days. So, yeah. I have to find a new routine.
Real binger.
That's a real
real life binging.
I have to find a new routine, especially being that school starts Tuesday for me, and some of my teachers they're requiring us to actually get on Zoom for the class time, and for 2 of my other classes, since my last name is Dean, I have to go to class the first day they were scheduled for the week, so I have class on Monday and Tuesday where I actually have to go to class, and I'm really mad about that because they really could have had it all online. So what I'm gonna do, I'm walking in there with my mask on for one. I might wear 2. I'm taking my Lysol spray and I'm Cloroxing and Lysol and everything that I have to touch. I'm doing it, and I mean, I'm just gonna have to say a prayer every time I go to class because I don't know what possessed them to do this. So yeah, my routine was fluent, so it's forever changing.
All right. So I want to end this with just an encouraging word from each of you. You all are quite the wise people. I don't know what happened to Krista. That baby is gone. But I was going to start with her. But we're going to just start with Val. Whatever. With you. Because, yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, some encouraging words to leave with everybody. I would really just say, stay, I can't say stay encouraged, but just stay positive. I'm going to say that. Stay positive, even in the toughest situations or the darkest situation that you're going through. Try to find the positive, even if your tough situation, you feel like it's this big. Try to find at least this much positivity in it and lean on it. Look towards that. And just, take it easy on yourself. And know that, it's going to be a better day after this quarantine, after any situation that you're going through. Everything it's going to get better. It may not look like it, but you just got to trust and believe it's going to get better sooner or later.
That's great. Justin?
I would just say, like Val said, find the positive. Find something to keep your mind afloat. Find something to keep your mind away from all the negativity. I know there's a lot going around. I know there's a lot that we need to stay reminded or stay aware of. But a lot of the stuff is just distractions. And I would just say, find something to just keep your mind in perfect peace. Find something, get some meditation going, and just also take the precautions that you need to take to keep yourself safe. Just get in a book or something. And then also find you a person that you can talk to. I typically this. Some people are loners or whatever, and some people don't. They get anxiety because they're like, I'm lonely. I don't have anybody to talk to. Find you whether it's just one or two friends. Find you somebody to talk to. I know I've become really. I tapped into this during quarantine as well, not having really people to because I just moved down here to Richmond in January, and right when I moved down here, we got stuck with quarantine. So of course, I didn't really know anybody, and so I found myself in a place where like, dang, I don't know anybody. I kind of want to go back home during this quarantine, but I had to literally find me a group of people, and group chats became my best friend. Somebody that we can just get on group FaceTime with, talk about our day. Somebody we can just get on group FaceTime with, say, hey, how are y'all doing this? How are y'all? Check on your loved ones. I know how it is I want somebody to check on me or whatever. It feels good, to have a person to check on you. So I want to encourage everybody to just check on your loved ones, check on your friends, because they can be a lot of people, just because they don't say that they're going through, or just because they don't say that they're like in bad spirits or a bad shape right now, doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't. And so one other thing that I've learned, that just because somebody isn't checking on you does not mean that you should not check on them. A lot of times people are not checking on you because they need somebody to check on them. So if you just check on them, then just make sure that you're checking on your surroundings, check on your circle, make sure that everyone is afloat, and make sure everyone is in good standing or whatever, and not just in the dump, down and out, feeling like nobody cares about them in this quarantine.
Crystal?
Okay. Well, I just want to say, trust God through the process.
Yeah.
Trust God through the process. During this quarantine, like Valerie has, endured so much.
Yeah.
This quarantine, I had two car accidents.
Wow.
Two, okay? So I know that I'm trusting God that He's telling me to sit down somewhere, okay? So just trust God through this process. I know it look like, it's a storm, it's a disaster going on right now, but stick to what He says, stick to His promises, stick to reading your word, stick to prayer. Pray. I'm telling you, you have to pray your way through each day, because it's a battle. Anxiety, I'm talking about trying to take over. You literally got to pray your way through this storm and trust God through the process. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm crazy enough to believe that God has something good,
yes,
in store for us. I mean, I'm already claiming the light at the end of the tunnel. So just stay encouraged.
Don't start, Crystal.
Stay encouraged and trust the process.
And I just want to say, one of the things that I know that people don't do is get help. So I just want to encourage people to actually get help if you feel like it. We've seen, well, I can't say we, but I know I've seen stories about people who have like gone insane literally insane during this, who have taken their lives because of their life was just in a dishevel, or it just wasn't how they're used to, or they just couldn't stand the loneliness or something. I just want to just encourage people to actually get help. I mean, you can get help from friends, you can get help from family, but you can also get professional help.
Yeah.
There are so many things out there that allow people to actually get professional help. And sometimes if you have like insurance or something, maybe it'll pay for it. You never know if you don't call and try it out. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's just a lot of ways or you can just do like Justin said, like tap into those groups that you can form, groups of people who you just check on each other and stuff like that. But that's my thing. I just want people to actually not be afraid or ashamed to actually reach out for help, and just be open and honest that you need help. So that's all that I have. I'm really excited that you guys have spent this time with me. I think that the time went by fast, and I really had a good time. I think I needed this, because this was great. So until next time, Open Vault, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.